On May 7th of 2024, Rockland News was granted an exclusive interview and tour with the new directors of Rockland Green Cares Animal Shelter. Here's the footage. Okay, so we are inside RG Cares Animal Shelter. Just gonna, oh, somebody's walking in.
Are you famous today?
Yeah. Famous today, you are too. All right, thank you.
Okay.
This guy's amazing.
All right.
This place is amazing.
That's a good sign.
Thank you, Lisa.
That's a good sign. So tell me about where we are right now.
So this is our front lobby areas, which we call it as a cat adoption room. It's usually where we keep our younger cats and kittens. As you can see right now, it's pretty empty. We've been doing very good with adoptions. We have a lot of transfer partners. We work with other shelters and rescues that don't have as high of an intake of cats and kittens as we do here. So they come on a regular basis and they pull our animals. As you see, Lisa from Father John's is here today. They're here.
Dawn Bernstein right there.
Yep.
Okay, Lisa from Father John's. That's that.
They even bring us some donations every time they come up. Some things they don't need at their shelter or for their animals. They brought us some cat trees, some bedding, some different kind of things.
You were mentioning in the interview it took a good 2 weeks to get all of the previous debris and...
Yeah, because you got to figure to take out an entire room, we had to get all the cats out of the cages, clear out the entire room to the parking lot, scrub walls, floors, windows, ceilings, clean everything outside, get it back in, set it up, get the cats back in them. So we're kind of doing room by room, trailer by trailer.
Got it.
And then with the illness, we had to be extra careful with cross-contamination and that kind of stuff. We didn't want to bring it from an area it was in to an area it was not, you know.
So you had to quarantine. You mentioned you had to quarantine some of the animals, or?
And that was hard too, because then all the animals had to stay where they were, because he's sick in here. Is that upper respiratory sick or is that panleukopenia sick? Big difference. So if it's in this room, doesn't mean it's in that room now. If we take him from this room, put him in that room, now we just brought that
Could potentially spread it.
There,
Yep.
You know? So it was definitely...
Got it.
Want to take a walk around this way?
Yeah, let's take a look.
So we call this like our staging donation tent. All day donations are just coming in from the public, whether it be dog toys, leashes, collars, laundry, cat carriers, all that kind of stuff. So we kind of set it up in here, sort it out, and then send it off to where it belongs.
And how often do you get deliveries? Is it every day, every week?
Every day.
Just from the community in general, or just drop by?
Community supports us greatly. We appreciate it. But yeah, I would say every day. You'd be surprised how much stuff comes into this place. This is our bedding trailer, so sheets, towels, blankets, pillowcases, all that kind of stuff. It's kept inside of here. And then this one's a little
Supplies.
it's a ring right there. We're kind of running out of room for it. This is supplies, so gloves, garbage bags, cat litter, paper towels, crates, you know, wee-wee pads, hand sanitizer, all that kind of stuff is stored back here.
It's
Looks a little crazy, but it just keeps coming. You keep running out of room and reorganizing.
right. It's an endless job. We all know this.
This is some of our outdoor spaces for the dogs. It's Ruby. We use this as an isolation shed for the dogs. So if there's a dog, we recently had a dog with ringworm that had to be kept completely separate from the other dogs.
Got it.
Stay in here, and we can sanitize the entire place, clean it out, prepare for the next one. This is our food room area. You can see it's pretty well stocked. Community is very generous, as well as our pet store partners. So this is the cat adoption room in here. We spruced it up a little bit. If you want to come in and take a look, This is where our staff and volunteers can come and socialize cats to give them time out of their cages.
Mm-hmm.
Potential adopters and families can come in here and spend time with the cats just to make sure the personality fits and it's the right animal for their family, their home. As you can see, we painted most of the rooms. We put some new animal decor up.
We made it pretty
Mm-hmm.
and inviting
Right.
for our kitties and our potential adopters,
Mm-hmm.
fosters. We have a really robust foster program, which is an amazing part of what we do as well. Here's another room.
Another one of our adoption rooms.
Similar to the one in the front,
Yep.
to a degree.
Yeah, these are more juvenile to adult cats. One of the big things we changed is we put individual litter scoopers on every single cage, so they're not scooping his litter and scooping his litter and scooping his litter and
Right.
cross-contaminating.
Spreads
that
the
way.
feces into different cages is a no-no. That would make sense. So you do that for each individual cage,
Each
you say?
individual one, yep.
Mhm.
Every cat you'll see has one.
Okay.
name. They all have identifications. They're all labeled through a color system. His they might have took off to clean today.
Got it. And then over here.
Just some food, cleaning supplies, bedding, treats for the cats, different things. Yeah. We got veranda towers in the room so the cats can come out of the cages, socialize with the volunteers,
Mm-hmm.
spread their legs, that kind of thing. So in here, Tom, a lot of the barriers were broken, missing. A lot of the cables were broken. A lot of the pulley systems on the tops were broken. So we had to do a lot of repairing, fixing. I could show you pictures of the drains here. They were so clogged up and caked up with urine and feces, there almost wasn't an opening underneath it. But you can still see some remnants of it.
Mm-hmm.
But imagine not even being able to fit a golf ball in there.
Mm-hmm.
That's how backed up and clogged up and corroded.
So the channels here, so the condition of the channels, it was, are you saying it was overflowing or it was
So just all the feces
within
and
there?
they washed
Okay.
into the drain and they cleaned the drains out.
Right.
I'll show you pictures of these.
And you had to do that manually? You had to...
Oh yeah, the
do all
smell
that.
coming out of these drains.
Mm-hmm.
Something you can't imagine. And you know, a lot of these were broken. You can see this one was broken so bad that the wire was actually cutting through. Eventually, it would have cut this thing in half.
I see it,
Pulling
yeah.
the cable, you know, up and down. Here. So this is our isolation areas back here. We have 2 isolation rooms for the cats.
Tell me what an isolation room is.
So any kind of sickness or contagious disease, whether it's ringworm, panleukopenia, upper respiratory infection, anything like that, the cats go straight into
So it keeps them
isolation.
quarantined away from the other animals.
So this one is usually used for basic upper respiratory illness. And the other room here, usually we use if there's any kind of ringworm or any other kind of illness that's not.
To prevent cross-contamination as well.
So if they have ringworm and they have upper respiratory, you don't want them in the same room because that's 2 totally different things. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Cascade.
Yeah, exactly. This is our kitchen area.
Mm-hmm.
So this is where they prepare the dog food, weigh the dogs, prepare medications, any of that kind of stuff is all done in here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's a little out of date, but we tried to paint it and, you know, clean it up.
We didn't have much to work with.
Yeah, exactly.
How has Rockland Green been as a provider for your operations at the moment?
I would say amazing, honestly. Sit. Sit.
Uh-huh.
Give them traits so they associate people with good, not with jumping on the fences and acting crazy. Sit. No. Sit.
What do the color codings, what do they
So
indicate?
that's for the staff and the volunteers. Just based on behavior.
Right.
Sit. Sit. It's okay. And I'll explain this.
Is red a more concerning
So
color?
Sit.
You
So we
seem
have
okay
kind
with
of-
it.
Yeah, they're all. So it's kind of a traffic light pattern, right? Green, yellow, red.
Yeah.
So green means go. Could be a little cautious. Red is staff only. It's a bike quarantine, a stray dog that just came in, behavioral issues. And then blue is kind of our behavioral program. Dogs that could only be handled by certain handlers, need a little leash work, a little training. Maybe they don't like men, or they don't like women, or they're a little reactive to other dogs. So that our volunteers can handle.
Gotcha.
This shed we use for our more fractious cats, a little more. So those guys are in here. A little bit bigger cages, a little more one-on-one.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I'm just gonna shut that gate behind them
Yeah.
down.
One sec.
So these guys are loose in here. You see a lot of them are hiding once you open the door.
Mm-hmm.
This is the one room we haven't got able to repaint or repair too much because the cats are loose, and to catch them stresses them out greatly. You know. So these are cats that are mostly going to go for barn homes.
Uh-huh.
We work with a few other organizations on placing barn cats, so places that have farm animals, horses, you know, barns on their property.
Gotcha.
Lot of
Open
acreage.
spaces.
Yep. They usually have issues with mice and things like that. Most of them are animal people, so they like to have barn cats. Most barns have cats in them.
Interesting strategy.
Yeah.
So in that case, then that means, I mean, if you're looking for farmland to relocate these animals, it would be probably Orange County, I'm thinking, and
Orange County, New Jersey. We have a few in Rockland. We just said Cropsey Farms just came here.
Cropsey Farm. Okay.
2 of our cats. They took 3 from us about 3 years ago, and they decided they needed a few more, and they just came last month and took 2 cats from us to live on the property over there. So even things like that, Davies Farm, down to earth right here, has some cats outside. So yeah, definitely even more local.
Whole ecosystem,
Yep.
nature. Now, are a lot of these, they're smaller animals, are they animals that you've retrieved that they don't seem feral? Are they animals that just the owners couldn't originally handle them and they brought them here?
So there's a few different problems. We sell these animals, so there's no process, there's no questionnaire. It's just rabbit $75, you pay your $75, you leave. So most people don't know what it's like to take care of these animals. They think, oh, it's a rabbit, I throw them in a small cage and done. So most people can't care for them properly. They don't have the space, the cages, the experience, or whatever you want to call it. And these animals, people tend to get a lot of the times in pairs, 1 or 2. Next thing you know, my rabbit had babies, and I had babies, and I had babies, and Now I have 15 of them. I don't know what to do with them. And then they turn them over to the shelter.
Got it.
We've had a few issues where people are breeding rabbits to sell them. And then when they can't sell them, they dump them off in dozens at a time. So it's been a big problem we've been experiencing with the rabbits and the guinea pigs.
Mm-hmm.
Guinea pigs more so. People go in the pet store and they say, oh, I want to get 2. And they say, oh, here's 2 girls. And it's a boy and a girl. And 2 months later, you have babies. And then so on and so on. But every once in a while, we get a call, there's a rabbit loose in a parking lot or at a school, or someone left them in a park. And then we do try to go out and catch them if we can, and bring them back. These are prey animals. 9 times out of 10, they don't survive more than a few days, if a few weeks outside. They're vulnerable to snakes, dogs, cats, hawks, birds of prey, almost everything. We'll see these as a meal and eat them if they get the opportunity. Test them for FIV, FELV, vaccinate them for rabies, distemper, deworms them, make sure overall they're healthy, there's no dental issues, things like that that we have had to address. Then we place them in here, and then we hold them in here until we find a barn home, and then the cats get relocated from there. So right now, knock on wood, as far as we know, we're down to about 5 or 6 cats left outside on the property, out of approximately 60 cats.
When you got here, roaming free.
6 months ago. Yep. So I'll show you the area back here was a horrible mess. This is where they were quote unquote feeding the cats and allowing them to live. We cleaned a lot of this area up. There goes one right there running by. Going under the fence.
Okay, got it.
So we
So that's
rebuilt this entire thing. We put a kennel here. We put a new roof on it. We put shelters in here. So this is their feeding station, somewhere for them to come feel safe, get their fresh water every day, their food, and then as they acclimate to this, we catch them inside and then keep relocating them as possible.
gotcha.
We were fortunate enough we adopted a lot of them as friendly cats and were able to be adopted into homes. And the ones that couldn't, we were able to relocate to other facilities.
Got
So
it.
hopefully after these last 5, 6, or 7 cats, there's no more cats loose on the property. Which was a big concern with high tour. Well, if the shelter's moving in a year, what's going to happen to the 60 cats that are outside? By the time that we move into that shelter, there will be no cats left outside. And we're not going to wait until it happens. We're going to make sure to be proactive and do that now. So no animal is left behind here.
Thanks for watching this exclusive interview of Rockland Green Cares Animal Shelter. If you have any questions about this interview, please contact us at news@rocklandsnews.com. Don't forget to follow us on our Facebook page and check us out at rocklandsnews.com. Rockland News, it's local that matters first.